Kangata took oath of office at 10:52 a.m. Sakaja at exactly 11 a.m. And now we have got Kawira Mwangaza at 11:07 a.m. You would imagine that they are rushing against time to beat the deadline of 2 p.m. So, and you can see it takes less than a minute to read that oath and you're done. 45 seconds to so to speak. What will actually prolong these kind of events is now the speeches and the entertainment. But the biggest, reason why people are here today is just to be sworn in. Then the rest are just entertainment. Now, back to Homa Bay County. As I refer to what gentleman said in the morning with Simon Achola, is cotton farming should be revived. It used to do pretty well years back, but right now that does not work. But again, the fish farming or fishing in Lake Victoria, you'll realize that a majority of people in Lake Victoria, actually, a majority or the huge amount of fish that we consume here in Nairobi come from that region.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
The Embu governor.
It's worth it.
Yeah, and doing her dance. I would imagine if you were the one in this position, you would be doing skelewu. But Omotito appears to be, deeply engrossed in praising God. Obviously, after this victory. And of course, it's important to say the judge presiding over the swearing in Nairobi is Rose Abirili, who is a judge of the High Court and has administered the oath to both Johnson Sakaja, the governor, Nairobi County, and Dr. Njoroge Mushiri, the deputy governor. And of course, you also have pictures from Kwale there. Fatuma Achani will also be taking the oath today as the governor for Kwale County. I also understand in Homa Bay, big man Oyugi Maguanga has just arrived. And then, so what we're waiting for now is the governor-elect Gladys Wanga to make her way to that venue, and then they will take the oath of office. So clearly, quite a number of governors already have taken their oath of office, including in Murang'a, and you have seen the deputy also Munania taking the oath of office. So we could say that effectively their counties already where government has already shaped up in terms of who will be their next governor in the next 5 years, Victor.
Absolutely. And now what now remains is now the first order of business, whether you're going to deliver your manifesto. If you had an encyclopedia in the name of a manifesto, then you have got, a lot of work to do. Yeah. But first of all, you just need to identify. For example, you go to Murang'a. You did the gubernatorial bid in Murang'a. Yeah. And what were they talking about was the avocado farming. It's as simple as such. It's
a big deal, particularly when it comes to avocado farming. And because remember, the avocado farming in Murang'a is being added to already existing tea and coffee, which is one of the biggest income earners for farmers in Murang'a County. Tea and coffee. And then now the horticulture adding up. And avocado, looking at the markets that have been available through the national government, we are yet to see a concerted effort, particularly from the county government, to create more awareness and to ensure that, the conformity of standards, because I understand China does not own avocado. Maybe Ogola can tell you the kind of avocado China wants, but I understand they want it processed. You're sending it to them in a mukebe. So the idea of plucking it from the tree and just thinking it's ready for sale is something else different. This is Kiambu. Kimani Wamatangi is there. Is that Bishop Makariuki? Yeah, that's Bishop Makariuki. Also there. But you know, Bishop Makariuki natively is from Nakuru County, but probably he's the religious figure for Kimani Wamatangi, and that explains his presence there in Kiambu County. But Victor was telling you about Murang'a, and I think it's a challenge shared across Mount Kenya counties, including Nyandarua, Kiambu, Embu, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, as well as Meru and Tharaka Nithi, in terms of, you know, creating that market and awareness around the avocado market.
Yes.
And what really the market wants in terms of the final product. I don't think there's much information around there or concerted effort from county governments.
And I say the most important thing is the common mwananchi would want to see that value for their farming input. I do large-scale farming in maize, coffee, or something, and I would imagine my immediate government, that is the county government, does not have that immediate step to make sure that I get that value for my money. The only thing you can give me is your manifesto. I will do this, I will do that, I will do this, I will do that. You get that value, you get that money from the national government, coupled with your revenue collection from the national, from the county government. Why would a governor just identify a particular area? For example, in farming, when you go to my home county of Homa Bay, say, I want to have 2 storage facilities in Homa Bay and another one in Beta. You shall have saved thousands of fishermen from that region, for example.
Absolutely.
You go to Turkana. I'm told that Turkana has the sweetest fish. Again.
Favor, affection, or ill will, so help me God.
The Chief Registrar, Mr. Gotti, Chairman, University of Embu Council, Mr. Kennedy Okongo, Vice Chancellor, University of Embu, Professor Daniel Mugendi Jiro, the Chairman of Assumption of Office Committee, Mr. Jason Nyaga, County Commissioner, Eddie Nyale, the members of Parliament here present, the Honorable Eric Mushangi Karemba of Runyenjes constituency, the Honorable Roko of Manyata of Bereno, the Honorable Itonga Mukunji of Manyata constituency, the Senator of Embu County, Honorable Mondigi, Clerk of the County Assembly of Embu, Mr. Jim Kauma, the honorable members of the County Assembly that have just been elected, all distinguished members that are present, and all the leaders and wananchi from Embu County. Hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Muyano. Muyegarenge. Bwana asifiwe. God is good and all the time. Thank you so much. May I also recognize the presence of MP-elect from Bene South constituency, the Honorable Engineer Nefat Muriuki. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa. I take this opportunity to thank the Almighty God for giving me this distinguished opportunity to serve you, the great people of Embu County, as your second governor. I further thank the good people of Embu County from all walks of life for giving me the opportunity to be their first female governor of this county. It is not a mean achievement. Let me take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to the electorate of Embu County for turning out peacefully and in large numbers during the just concluded elections. The men and women who woke up early and stood patiently in long queues to overwhelmingly vote for me are the real heroes of this victory. I salute you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your vote of confidence in me. I cannot forget to thank my family, starting with my husband Dennis, who is here. Please, Dennis, I request to stand up and just wave to the people of Embu County. That's the test of man. Thank you very much. My children, Tiffany and Samora, my mother, and my siblings for their immense support and prayers throughout my campaign journey. I also thank all the bishops here present, the clergy, some here and some not here, and the entire church who supported me in prayer throughout my campaign period. To my friends and supporters, no words can adequately relay the gratitude and appreciation that I have for the immense support and love that you have shown me along this journey. I can confidently say that without you, we wouldn't be here today. I cannot also forget my campaign team that planned our activities with passion and precision and went with me around this county to campaign and ensuring that we achieve the victory that we celebrate today. Asanteni sana wote na Mungu awabariki. To my worthy competitors, I congratulate you as well for running a peaceful campaign and wish you well as we look forward to moving on and developing our county. I want to take this opportunity also.
All right, that's Cicely Motito Barire. I had mentioned Motito. It's Cicely Motito Barire of Embu County. Let's cross over now to Kwale. Fatuma Achani, the next governor for Kwale County, is taking her oath.
Gentlemen, under Section 12, Subsection 1 of the Assumption of the Office of Governor Act of 2019, the law provides that the governor-elect and the deputy governor-elect assume office by taking and subscribing to the stipulated oaths or affirmations for the execution of the functions of the office of governor and deputy governor respectively. Now, the particular oaths and affirmations for the two officers are prescribed in the first schedule of the Act. Section 11.3 of the Act requires that the oath or affirmation be administered to the governor-elect and the deputy governor-elect before a high court judge. Hence, the meaning and import of the presence of Lady Justice Olga Sewe. I will ask her to stand. Thank you. She may say her names.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jamboni nyote. My name is Olga Sewe na niko na furaha kuwa hapa leo. Asanteni.
Section 11.3 of the Act further requires that the swearing-in ceremony of the two officers be conducted at a public place. Formed the choice of this venue, Kwale Stadium, as the venue for all these important functions. Section 12, subsection 2 of the Act states that the oaths and affirmations for the two officers shall be administered not earlier than 10 a.m. and not later than 2 p.m. It is now about 11:25 a.m., so we are still within the statutory timelines. Your Ladyship, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in line with the provision section 11.1 of the Act, the assumption of the Office of Governor Committee, published by notice in the Kenya Gazette, the date, which is today, the time, as per the statutory timelines that I've stated, and the place, which is Kwale Main Stadium, where we presently are for the conduct of this swearing-in ceremony. The relevant notice is Kenya Gazette Notice number 9898, dated 17th of August this year, and published on the 19th of August this year, which clearly indicated that the governor-elect, Honorable Fatuma Mohamed Achani, and the deputy governor-elect, Honorable Chirema Josephat Kombo, are to be sworn in today at a ceremony to take place between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at Kwale Main Stadium. I confirm, Your Ladyship, that we are within the statutory timelines prescribed in the Act and that we have complied with those sections of the law. Further, it is instructive, my lady, that by section 11, subsection 2 of the Act, that the governor-elect and the deputy governor-elect be sworn in on the first Thursday after the 10th day following the declaration of the final results of the election by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, which date is again today. Your Ladyship, I am therefore pleased to inform you that the assumption of office of the Governor Committee, Kwale County, has complied with all the provisions of the assumption of the Office of the Governor Act in preparing this swearing-in and inauguration ceremony. I now wish to introduce the Governor-designate, Her Excellency Honorable Fatuma Mohamed Achani, of identity card number 229802218, to take a position in front of this rostrum. To take a position in front of the rostrum of the judiciary in readiness for the administration of the oath by Honorable Justice Olga Sewe. I wish to call upon Your Ladyship to take your position next to the rostrum beside the Governor-designate in readiness to administer the oath. Even it may please you, my lady, I would like to call upon you to guide the Governor-designate to lift the Holy Quran with the right hand and place the left hand on the Constitution of Kenya in readiness to take the oath of office. and request your ladyship to proceed to administer the oath in accordance with the law. Your ladyship, you may proceed.
Okay, so we have the oath here, and I'll request the governor designate to proceed to read the oath of office. Please go ahead.
I, Honorable Fatuma Mohamed Achani, do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Governor of Kwale County, that I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office, and that I will do justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
Come over.
Thank you. Asanteni sana. Having administered the oath of office, Her Ladyship will witness the signing of the oath and the certificate of inauguration. And further, Section 40 of the Leadership and Integrity Act of 2012.
Fatma Achani being sworn in as the governor for Kwale County. Now we head over to Kisii County. This is Simba Arati being sworn in as the next governor for Kisii County. Let's listen in.
Okay. Kuna kiapo cha pili chini ya Leadership and Integrity Act kwamba atawafanyia kazi kwa njia ya uadilifu. Governor, karibu.
I, Honorable Paul Simba Arati, holder of national ID 22481719, having been elected as the governor of Kisii County, do hereby confirm I have read and understood the specific leadership and integrity code prescribed for the state officer in the county executive of Kisii, and I hereby commit myself to abide by the provisions of the code. So help me God.
Shangwe na nderemo tena wananchi wapendwa. Gavana wa pili anaenda kutia sahihi. Of Nairobi County, a county of order, of dignity, of hope, of opportunity. Let me answer the come back to today, jamani, tulete tafadhali. Let me now ask, let me hand over actually this part.
All right, that's Isiolo County. Abdrahman. Actually, I'm understanding that today that's his name. In Nairobi, we've been referring to him as Abdi Guyo, who has been serving from 2013 to 17, served as minority leader in the County Assembly of Nairobi, and now from 17 to 2022 was serving as majority leader in the County Assembly of Nairobi, representing Matopeni ward. I think it's somewhere in Embakasi Central Constituency. And now, after Governor Mohamed Kuti cited ill health, he endorsed Guyo to be governor. He is the governor now for Isiolo County after taking this oath of office, elected on a Jubilee Party ticket. Maybe we can listen in. Yeah, we still have a sound challenge with Isiolo, but of course, so far the people who've taken over, we've seen live pictures from Muranga, as well as Embu. We have seen live pictures from Kwale, and I understand also Mwadime of Taita Taveta has taken his oath of office. In Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga just got there. In Nairobi, you also have Johnson Sakaja, who has taken his oath of office, alongside his deputy, Dr. Njoroge Mushiri. And those are some of the places where we are on standby, including in Nyandarua also, where we expect Wahome Badilisha to take his oath of office as the next Nyandarua governor. Victor, probably maybe time will prove us wrong, but I'm seeing a tendency where a governor who probably was elected on a different ticket from the one that the outgoing was elected on, or the outgoing one has a challenge with the one who has been elected. Obviously, you're seeing some of these governors keeping off from these ceremonies. But let's just head over to Uasin Gishu. I think Jackson Mandago is handing over to Jonathan B. Chelilim, alias Kotimoja.
First and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank God for the most peaceful elections ever witnessed in the Republic of Kenya. And the peace that we have had, we give thanks to God. Secondly, let me take this opportunity to thank the people of this great county of Uasin Gishu for the opportunity you gave me to serve as your first governor and to serve for 2 terms, and the opportunity to serve you as your senator in the next administration. Indeed, this county is great, having also gotten the opportunity to elect the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya from this great county. On behalf of myself, the CECs, the chief officers, and the county public service, we wish to thank all of you for the support you accorded us as the county administration for the 10 years you gave us opportunity to serve. We want to thank you and we want to wish you God's blessings. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate the 2nd governor of this county, Honorable Jonathan Chelilim B, aka Kotimoja. Kwa sababu vile tunaambiwa wanaokudharau leo kesho watakusalamia kwa heshima. Wale walikuita Kotimoja leo lazima waseme Your Excellency. There is no shortcut. Na sio tafadhali, itabidi waseme. Lakini kwa vile niliwashauri hapo mapema, siasa usiweke kwa roho, basi hata wale walikuwa sehemu ile nyingine ya uchaguzi, tutawakaribisha wote tuendelee kujenga kaunti yetu ya Uasin Gishu. I want to assure the people of this county that as we hand over the administration today, we are leaving behind a very professional county public service, a robust county public service with systems that are working. And we believe the next administration.
All right, that's the outgoing governor, Jackson Mandago, who is now the senator-elect for Uasin Gishu. Let's head over to KICC. Johnson Sakaja is addressing Kenyans.
I wouldn't say we were poor, but our estate wasn't the best either. And I'm so happy to see my relatives all here. It wasn't as organized or as clean as our neighbors. And I've given this story many times. And I always wondered why that was so. Especially compared to our immediate neighboring estate that seemed like heaven to us. The roads were nicer, there was no litter, the grass was even greener. But I eventually got to know at that young age that it was because that neighborhood did not necessarily have better people. They were just organized. They had created a sense of community. They had selected good leadership, and things worked. So being the politician I was, even then 7 years of age, I organized a demonstration to protest that system. I got other children involved, and things began working. And I'm proud to say that even then we started seeing change. I've also just learned that today, on this day, August the 25th, in 2012, Neil Armstrong, who was the first person to set foot on the moon, died at 82. He accomplished that at age 38, which is a year older than me at that time. And what I really admired about him was the ability to dream. If Neil and his team were bold enough to dream to be the first people on the moon, what is stopping us as Nairobians, including the 7-year-olds out there like I was, from hoping for a working city? I don't think it is too much for us to ask for. We can do it.
All right, that's Johnson Sakaja elucidating his vision for Nairobi County. We'll be getting back to him in a bit, but let's just head over to Nakuru County. Susan Wakarura Kihika is taking her oath of office.
In the office of the Governor of Nakuru County, that I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office, and that I will do justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Asante.
Congratulations. You are now the Governor of Nakuru County. Congratulations.
Amekwisha tangazwa rasmi, sasa tunaweza kushangilia. Ni wakati sasa wa gavana kuweka sahihi kwenye cheti. Akishamaliza basi atakuwa amekuwa sasa sio gavana mteule, lakini sasa ni gavana rasmi.
Susan Wakarura Kihika is now the governor of Nakuru County. We are also live in Machakos and we'll be heading there in a bit. Wavinya Ndeti will be taking over. Of course, the oath of office now is about to be administered in Machakos. Let's listen in.
Now it's the moment, and I would like the governor-elect to take the oath by reading it herself.
I truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya functions in the said office, and that I will do and the laws of Kenya without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
Interesting sights there of Wavinya Ndeti of the famous Yaliondwele Sipite taking over as the new governor for Machakos County. Now, let's head over to Homa Bay County. From one lady to another, now being governors in the Republic of Kenya. Gladys Wanga is taking over as the governor for Homa Bay County. And she's about to take her oath of office. They're obviously being administered by a High Court judge. And obviously after that oath, obviously we will be talking about the governors who have not shown up in these events to probably hand over to their successors, either in one way aggrieved because of the results, or they were not in the coalition they were supporting. And we'll be talking about that in a bit. But if we have sound now, we can go to Homa Bay County and listen to Gladys Wanga taking her oath.
Serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the governor of Homa Bay County. That I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office, and that I shall do justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, without fear, favor, affection, or ill will, so help me God.
Congratulations, Governor Omode. It's another oath we shall take for a governor-elect. There is another oath from the... Okay. So let's sign the oath together with the certificate of inauguration. She's signing the oath of office as governor of Homa Bay County, and she also signed the certificate of inauguration, and the judge will also sign to witness that certificate and the oath.
All right, that is exactly what's happening from the county of Homa Bay. Gladys Wanga taking reins of power there after Cyprian Awiti having served his 2 terms, and now the first woman to be elected as the governor of Homa Bay County, already in office. And of course, one of the biggest issues that bedeviled most of the governors is the issue of graft, or corruption, if you like it. A majority of governors in their first terms were in the court corridors or under the graft agencies that the EACC, battling their cases. We know some of them already on record. And this oath is tailor-made in such a way that even these governors are taking oath of office with the issue of corruption in mind.
All right, Gladys Wanga signing that. And of course, as you rightly pointed out, Victor Olo, right, there is, for the first time, a second oath being administered to these governors, and that is commitment to the war against corruption. And, you know, the enforcement of the Leadership and Integrity Act as captured in, in Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Let's head over
to take an oath and not to be affirmed. So I'll ask His Excellency to lift the Bible with his right hand. Your Excellency, Judge, please. I now ask that you take the oath.
I, Honorable Dr. Paul Kimani Wamatangi, do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Governor of Kiambu County, that I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office, and that I shall do justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, without fear, without favor, without affection, or ill will, so help me God.
You will be guided. Asanteni sana. It is now time for His Excellency to sign the oath with Honorable Justice Mshila.
Having been elected as Governor of Homa Bay County, do hereby confirm that I have read and understood the specific leadership and integrity code prescribed for state officers in the County Executive of Homa Bay, and hereby commit myself to abide by the provisions of the code.
Thank you. Congratulations, Governor. And now, once again, I ask the Governor and the Judge to sign this oath of EACC, committing ourselves to the leadership and integrity code of conduct.
Governor of Kiambu County.
All right, it's a comprehensive coverage of the swearing in of governors. And remember, we are also on standby in Parliament for the induction of the new members of Parliament. But of course, the oath taken by governors across the country, 45 of them. Of course, 2 will be taking later, obviously, after the elections on Monday, and that is in Kakamega and Mombasa. But 45 of them taking oath of office. And quite a spectacular ceremony here, covered exclusively by KBC Channel 1. When we tell you that we'll give you a front row seat on issues and events as they unfold, this is what we mean. We mean business, Victor.
This is it. Even as we get mesmerized by what we're doing, I mean, even as we are getting shocked that you are giving it the best. Kioria, perhaps Wakili and Prof. Ogola here, there is that leadership and integrity code, that oath they're taking right now. It's a bit unique as compared to the last governors. Let me start with you, Wakili. Chapter 6 of the Constitution, coming out quite prominently this time around.
Yes. I think Mother Come, in deciding to have that particular document signed, is a matter of affirmation that we need to give life to Chapter 6 of the Constitution, because earlier on we have seen misappropriation of resources, and especially even in aspects of leadership, because it is one of the roles of a governor to provide leadership in a county. And then some of these governors let things to happen, and then they later say, you know, that is not my work. The CEC involved should be able to take responsibility. So we are trying to avoid such a situation, because leadership is part of your responsibility. CEC are people who are under your docket. So you need to provide supervision for everything that which they do. And I think it's from that particular understanding that we get to have Mother Come in our wisdom say that besides taking the oath of office, which is constitutionally given, let's also try to give life to Chapter 6 by ensuring that these people sign and commit. We saw that happen successfully with the elections, where we saw the Electoral Commission ask or demand from the members of Parliament that there will be no violence, and they actually signed a code to that effect. This time round we saw very little election violence, and I think it's in the backdrop of that that I think in our wisdom she thought that by having them sign, they'll be committing themselves that they will be able to follow the code and conduct of ethics and that corruption provisions and the Chapter 6 of the Constitution.
Absolutely. And bringing just in Professor Fred Gola, who is Academic Director at Strathmore University, also political strategist. Prof, Chapter 6 of the Constitution coming alive, the EACC had a lot of work in the first term of governance, second term as well. Perhaps this is just meant to reduce pilferage of public money, public funds, and to send a signal to the governors that, hey, you signed this and the buck stops with you, should anything go wrong in your county.
Yeah, of course, you see, when we passed the 2010 Constitution, passing a Constitution is one thing. To get it enacted...
Okay, Prof, probably, that is Governor Irungu Wakangata now giving his speech. Probably we can just listen to him shortly, then we come back.
Sure.
And then we come up with what we call a payment plan, in which pending bill is not genuine. So that we do not pay ghost contractors. Also, there are many county assets that need to be audited. That includes Maragua Milk Factory. The county, the people of Mwangaza expended billions of shillings on that factory, and we also want to know the status. We need to do a special audit to create what we call a baseline, so that we know from here, this is where the Kangata government is starting. I know the task ahead of me. How we rank audit reports.
Silence, please. Silence. I, Joseph Oyugi Mwangaza, having been elected as the Deputy Governor of Homa Bay County, do hereby confirm that I have read and understood the specific leadership and integrity code prescribed for state officers in the county executive of Homa Bay, and hereby commit myself to abide by the provisions of the code. Sworn at Homa Bay Stadium. Congratulations. So help me God. Congratulations, Deputy Governor. I'll now invite the Deputy Governor and the Judge to sign the oath, the true oath for the leadership and integrity, and the oath of office as Deputy Governor.
That is Oyugi Mwangaza. Like I told you, Victor Olo is a big man. Even in terms of intonation, he didn't go like Oyugi Mwangaza. He's Oyugi Mwangaza. Yes, such a big man, even in terms of intonation. And of course, will be Gladys Wanga's deputy. But let's just head over to Machakos, listen in to what is happening there. But of course, those are live pictures from Machakos. Victor, probably Professor Ogola can finish up on the question you had asked him.
Yes, Prof. Let's talk about the issue of the Code of Ethics, what you're talking about, the integrity bit.
Yeah, so I was saying that, you know, when you pass on a constitution, the same people who pass the constitution, like members of parliament, must do enactment. And now when they were trying to arrest these governors to talk for how to put them into account, it was always difficult how to prosecute them because there were some enactments which were not done, how exactly that constitution should actually put them into account with Chapter 6. You saw the issue of certificate clearance during election. It was not very clear how it is done, because the constitution did not actually get enacted properly to show how do you clear someone. So in this way, by signing it, now they don't hold you to the constitution, but they hold you to the oath which you took. And of course, what is happening is that they have realized that so many counties almost did nothing with the money they had. I don't want to talk too much, but you can talk about Homa Bay. If you can imagine around 7 billion shillings going to Homa Bay every year, if you look at Homa Bay and you look at 7 billion coming every year, it is you to judge where it was going. Go to counties like Siaya, go to, I don't want to mention in specific, but you can see there are so many counties where money actually didn't work. And we should be happy that in this election, we're having this swearing in, we're having 26 governors who are new. They were not in the previous administration at all. So I'm sure by then being sworn into office for the first time with this new formula of swearing in, we might see something new. Also, we have around 8 to 11, I think, around 8, 11, who lost and now have come back after being out for a few years. Now again, that is another thing we are going to learn from. Of course, then we have some people are repeating office. So I'm sure that they are being sworn in with new this kind of affidavit they are swearing in now. So that should be able to bring freshness. But at the same time, when someone tells you to swear in a certain word, what these people don't know is what's the implication. And
do you really think they understand, or they were very much aware?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes they don't know why they are reading these things. What they want is to become a governor.
To hit them
By the time you become governor, you read anything to become a governor. But after that is where the problem
that sounds so gross. I think. Because we've had such statements even in the past, 3, 4, 5 months ago during the political rallies that, hey, I signed this, but I don't know what I was signing.
Yes, but even in marriage, when you sign the marriage certificate, people don't even know until that very day what they are signing. And I told you, you ask me, do they actually get this thing to read before? Even if you give them, will they find time to read? When you start seeing all that jargon, code, I don't know what, code this, I know, there's a wakil in the house. Ask him. Anybody who does not know law, how do you read a legal document and understand? Because a legal document is not like a love letter. It's a legal document. So when you read it, you say, oh, what is this saying? So some people normally enter in a wedding, then they say, I want a divorce, without knowing what are the exit clause to a marriage. In a marriage, there's no exit clause. Even if you have binoculars, you cannot see an exit clause on it. So these guys are basically signing what they don't know.
Perhaps, Wakili, you have been put on the spotlight that you are coming up with some words that incriminate people in a certain way.
But you see, look here.
Yes.
In Kenya, the most current term is opaqueness. If number is opaque, whereby 10 plus 10, people say it's not 20, is hard. What about all those sentences being read? How opaque are they? Maybe you can tell us.
How opaque are they? Curia.
Opaque is back again. We thought we were done with Cherera. But opaque is back. But of course, you can really see pictures live of, the swearing-in ceremonies all over, and leaders being dedicated to God. And of course, I said we would speak about some of the governors that have completely given a wide berth to the handing over ceremonies. For example, in Murang'a, Mwangi Wairia doesn't see eye to eye with the person succeeding him, despite the fact that Wairia has served for 2 terms as governor of Murang'a County. Doesn't see eye to eye with Irungu Kang'ata. You also have a situation in Nyandarua where Francis Kimemia has decided to keep off. Obviously, I think he's contesting the win of Wahome Badilisha. And Richard Munga, a reporter there, tells me the governor has decided to go bury his cousin, which is quite in order. In Nakuru, Liki Nyanjui has also avoided the swearing in completely. Now we have Governor Alfred Mutua, at least as we were speaking about handover, is on the podium. And clearly this one, at the tail end of a campaign, endorsed Wavinya Ndeti as the successor. And now he's here to hand over. Yesterday he said goodbye, now handing over to Wavinya Ndeti. Let's just listen in a bit to what Alfred Mutua is saying.
That as this man walks alongside Words I was given by Mwai Kibaki when I became government spokesman. Surround yourself with the right people, qualified people, able people, and not political psychopaths. Those will bring you down. Work with the experts. 2, have no malice. People have always said that
Of course, we have some problem there in Machakos, but of course that's Governor Mutua probably giving Wavinya Ndeti the leakage to, how to serve as the governor. But Kalonzo Musyoka is also seated there, who is regarded as a supremo of the Ukambani region. We'll also be listening to him at some point. But Wakili, tell us, what does the law say in terms of a governor who is handing over if he doesn't show up at the handing over ceremony? Because we've seen quite a number that have completely kept off the handing over ceremony.
Curia, I think the law does not compel a governor to be present if he's outgoing to hand over instruments of power. What it behooves him to do is actually to ensure that the processes are in order. If it is where he was a signatory, he needs to ensure that that is changed. If it's the office, he needs to hand over the keys to the offices. And as you know, once a governor leaves, he leaves with this executive. So basically, this is a new team coming in, which should be able to set their things in order. So there is the people who are supposed to be there, who are, it's a must to be there, is the assumption of office officials, which is headed by the secretary to the cabinet of the county. That one is the chairman, and those are the people who actually ensure that everything goes on smoothly in terms of transition. If they fail to show up, then that's going to be a problem, because these are the people who actually run the government. So whether the governor decides to attend or not to attend, it's really not a big deal. But for purposes of political image and for purposes of logical sense, he needs to be there to show that he's giving his goodwill to the incoming governor.
All right. And I've seen some quite maturity probably in Kiambu. I've seen Governor James Nyoro, despite the fact that he's contesting the results, he's shown up to hand over to Kimani Wamatangi. Professor Ogola, because we were speaking about the oath in terms of the war against corruption that has been taken, and we'll come back to that. But first of all, let's head over to Nairobi again and listen to General Mohammed Abdallah Badi, who is the Director General, Nairobi Metropolitan Services.
All the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, today is a great day of celebration. For the governor, was a personal friend of mine. We worked very well. Since the creation of NMS, Sakaja has been a backbone of helping NMS achieve its target. So today, I say congratulations, Your Excellency. NMS was created for a specific mandate, and I'm very happy to report, Your Excellency, the Governor, that NMS has accomplished all the tasks given to do within the 2 years. And the extra tasks that we have taken on board, which are ongoing projects, I'll be more than happy to hand over. I know you'll make this great county prosper. We will start the process of handing over from next week. And as we wind up as NMS, going back to various ministries and some of the staff returning to the county, I would like to personally and on behalf of NMS pledge our support to the governor. We will always be available for you, to work with you to make Nairobi great again. Thank you very much. God bless Kenya. God bless the county. Thank you.
Thank you, General Badi.
I think as we continue with our program, would like to acknowledge and hear our President-elect at some point. But before that, I know you haven't heard enough from the new governor-elect, isn't it? And you'd like to hear him again, is that so? Can I ask him come back? Your Excellency, Governor Sakaja.
Asante sana. I have nothing much to add, but to affirm to the staff in Nairobi County that we will work together. We will work together. And I know we have amazing people in the county. We have amazing people who have a heart for the people. We will start from tomorrow. And the first thing we must do is to reorient ourselves to know these people of Nairobi are our customers. We must serve them with respect, with diligence, and with honor and dignity. I also want to again to thank NMS General Badi. Thank you for the things you've been able to achieve. We shall take over and do. And I'm glad that you are available for us to call upon you at any time. I know you also have a good team, and we shall sit down and agree who comes back to the county and who goes back to the national government. Right now, ladies and gentlemen,
for Kwale County. Probably let's head over to KICC. I understand the president-elect of course will be addressing members of the public who've turned up for the swearing in. But of course, once we have him ready, we shall. There he goes. President-elect Dr. William Ruto. It's a big deal, obviously. Sakaja, the Nairobi governor, is from his party, UDA.
Your Excellency, Governor Johnson Arthur Sakaja, and your good deputy, James Njoroge Mushiri, and your families, all elected leaders present here, the Director General of NMS, and the great people of Nairobi, good afternoon. Hamjambo. Let me join the people of Nairobi in congratulating you, Governor Johnson Sakaja, your deputy, and your team for a wonderful election period that I shared with you and many other Nairobians and Kenyans. We have come here to witness your inauguration as Governor of Nairobi. I want to say from my family and I, from the UDA and Kenya Kwanza family, congratulations. You have made us proud. I want to take this opportunity at this very early moment, not only to congratulate you, but to wish you well as you take over the reins of governor of this great city, which also is the capital of the Republic of Kenya. As I congratulate you, Governor, I congratulate all the other governors that are being sworn in today across Kenya. I know about sworn in today or have been sworn in already. And I want to say to all the governors of the Republic of Kenya, congratulations. And I pledge that the government of Kenya, the national government of Kenya, will work with all the governors of Kenya in making Kenya a great nation. In a very special way, allow me to pass very special congratulations to the women elected governors of the Republic of Kenya. In this election, the people of Kenya made yet another historic decision. From the 3 governors that were elected in 2017 that are women, we now have 7 women elected as governors in the Republic of Kenya. And I want to say congratulations to the women of the Republic of Kenya and to those who have been elected as governors. Very special congratulations to Fatuma Achani, elected governor of Kwale County. Very special congratulations to Cecily Mbarire, the elected governor of Embu County. Very special congratulations to Anne Mumbi Waiguru, the elected governor of Kirinyaga County. Very special congratulations to Governor Faith Kawira, the elected governor of Meru County. Very special congratulations to Avinya Ndeti, the elected governor of Machakos County. Very special congratulations to Gladys Wanga, the elected governor of Homa Bay County. And of course, very special congratulations to Susan Kihika Mburu, the elected governor of Nakuru County. To all these great women, we wish you well as you take over the responsibilities of governor in your counties, and to all the other governors that have been elected in the Republic of Kenya. I want to say just 2 things to our governors, starting with my good friend Johnson Sakaja, that you will have the undivided support of the government of Kenya as you discharge your responsibilities in your counties. I know, having been chair of the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, that we have had challenges to better manage our counties and make it possible for you to deliver on your mandate and the commitments you have made to the constituents in your counties. Let me also say that we are going to work with you on making sure that counties build the capacity to raise resources on their own source of revenue channel to make it possible for additional resources from the shareable revenue, from all revenue, so that you can better deliver on services and on the mandate that you have been appropriated to by the Constitution in your counties. I also want to commit that we will work hard. I have already discussed with the Kenya Revenue Authority on how to raise revenue. And I commit that we will work together with you so that Kenya can live within its means. Discussed with the Kenya Revenue Authority on how to raise revenues, and I commit that anybody we will work together with you on account of paying Kenya taxes. I want to commit can live within its means. Going into the future, and there will be the rule of law will be the benchmark that all of us, irrespective of who we are, will be expected to live by the rule of law. I want to commit to all my friends in leadership that we are going to work together to make Kenya a country of opportunity, that every citizen of the Republic of Kenya working hard will access opportunity without the necessity of having any connection. As we go into the future, and especially in the city of Nairobi, you know, my brother Johnson, that you are a miracle candidate, that your election to the city governor of Nairobi is indeed a miracle. And it wouldn't have happened without God. And I want to appreciate that you have understood and underscored the place of faith and God in your election as the governor of the city of Nairobi. I want to tell you, my friend and brother, that we will work with you. We have confidence in you. We are proud of you. And we know the great city of Nairobi has the best that it can get in terms of governor. I also will be available to consult. You know the commitments we already made to the people of Nairobi with respect to market infrastructure, the commitments we have made in matters collection and management of garbage. You know the commitments we have made in matters to do with transport infrastructure for the great city of Nairobi. And you know, my brother, the commitments we have made in making sure that every hustle will count in the great city of Nairobi. I will be on hand to support you. And finally, you and me have already discussed on making the rivers of Nairobi places of opportunity, enterprise, and business, as opposed to what it is today, a place of filth and raw sewage. You and me have discussed on the Nairobi Rivers Commission. I will be looking forward to consultation so that we can set it up and begin to truly make this great city a city of dignity, in your own words, and a city of opportunity. To all my fellow citizens of the Republic of Kenya, I want to urge us, as we go into the future, you have spoken to us loudly. And I want to ask all the leaders of the Republic of Kenya to listen to the loud message that is coming from the citizens of our country. The citizens of our country are speaking to us loudly that they want their politics to be non-tribal and they want their politics to be peaceful. In this election, we have seen a very new phenomenon, that we all voted and the next day we were ready to go to work and we were ready to go on with our lives and everybody onto their hustle. That is the loud statement that is coming from the people of Kenya to those of us who are leaders. I am asking all of us as leaders to listen to what the people of Kenya are saying so that we can conclude the remaining steps of our election in a peaceful, orderly, respectful manner, respecting all the institutions that will discharge their responsibilities, because we are a country governed by law, by the rule of law, and by our Constitution. I want to conclude again by asking all the leaders of the great city of Nairobi, from our good friends, members of the County Assembly, and the workers of the great city of Nairobi, to join hands with the new leadership under Johnson Sakaja and take our great city to the next level. And I want to commit and pledge to you that we will be available to work with you because Nairobi is our collective business. Asanteni sana, nawatakia baraka ya Mungu, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you very much.
President-elect Dr. William Samoei Ruto obviously congratulating Sakaja and all the 45 governors being sworn in across the country, and of course emphasizing the need to work together with MCAs and the national leadership to foster and take further the agenda of devolution. The deputy president, who is now the president-elect, also revealing that he's willing to work with all governors in terms of ensuring the shareable revenue is sent to counties in good time, and not just in good time. There's also the aspect of ensuring that own source revenue is also enhanced across the counties. Now let's listen in to Fatuma Achani, the Kwale County Governor. All right. Once you have her sound, we'll be taking it over to you. But of course, she's taking over from her immediate boss, Salim Mvurya. She has been serving as a deputy governor to Salim Mvurya for the last 10 years in Kwale, and now assuming the roles of governor, having been elected with about 59,000 votes to make her the governor of Kwale County, beating her closest rival, that is Hamani Boga. And I think Chirao Ali Mwakwere, a former minister, came in third, and several other candidates who sought to be governor in Kwale County. Those are live pictures from Nairobi. But Professor Ogola, we were talking about that oath of office, and particularly on the one on corruption, because it is to tame graft, because much of public resources have been lost within the handover process and when governors were in office. But my only question is, if we have been unable to enforce the Constitution as is on the fight against corruption and the Leadership and Integrity Act, are we that by oathing, then we have the silver bullet?
Yeah, just like I told you before, we have even done research, as a scholar, that most of the things that happen is not about the Constitution, is not about the oath, is about the leadership. Curbing corruption starts by electing the right governor. And that's what we have seen across the board. Laws are the same across all constituency. How do we have this of success in different constituencies? You'll see with this oath, do you think with this oath, let's say development will be equal across counties? Not really. It's just like I told you, all the things people say with their mouth, they keep with their mouth. Their action may be enough. And here, which we need to look, for example, is before we wait for these governors to take oath, what is needed is how did they qualify to this oath? You see, for example, you had Deputy President and President-elect saying that Sakaja has been one of the most difficult governors to be to office because you saw what was happening. Papers are questioned, isn't it? Some of them have come with integrity questions. If a thief holds a Bible and says that from today, I will do you diligently, do you believe the words or do you believe the previous action? And we believe the past is a good predictor of the future. Yeah. So for me, it's done. Someone who lies morning and night, swearing in public that they'll keep the conduct. Do you really believe them? That's my big question. At the same time, I agree with my brother. Have they read that code? Or they are forced to read it. For me, these are very important questions. Maybe Wakili knows. Because you say you have read, what you taken through. Just like the bank, sign things. Where to read. These are normal things we see. For me, it will be seen more after they take office and seeing whether that will make them prosecutable, because that's when wakilis will tell you, oh, you know, I didn't read this one, or there is no proper way to execute this oath. I think that's where the gaps will come in.
All right. You know what's an interesting bit here, Prof. Curia, is that this bit of oath has been introduced this time around.
Yeah.
And it's quite peculiar, but Chapter 6 of the Constitution has been there since 2010. And we've seen, you know, government institutions running up and about, prosecuting people left, right, and center. But we've not seen somebody behind bars, actively behind bars, because of graft. Did the government have to introduce this? Martha Koome, as the CJ, to introduce this to tame corruption, while it's already stipulated clearly in the Constitution? Chapter 6 is there. Did we have to get there?
My brother Victor, we go back. These guys were cleared using Chapter 6. You saw what happened. EACC said, we recommend the following are not suitable for office.
Yes.
We recommend to IEBC. But some of them were cleared.
Okay.
That is the point. So when we talk about enforcement, does enforcement means arresting? Does enforcement, look here, Kidero had so many issues in Nairobi. He was running for governor of
Overbay.
Sonko, I think that's the only thing where we saw at least being stopped from running. But after stealing, what happens? Have we seen any governor who stole money, their money going back? Remember last time when these governors stole, they came out with what you call assets. Whenever you are accused of corruption, they said, how much money do you declare? They compare what you declared minus what you have, and they take the difference and hold them in an asset in public. Then they say, only after your case is cleared, you can begin back the money. Now parliamentarians went to court and to parliament and said, let us allow these guys to access their money, and they use that money for campaigning. So we are looking at what does enforcement here means. What is the goodwill in parliament?
Yes.
If parliamentarians also have the same issues as governors, how can they oversight them? Senate should oversight governors. Now somebody was a governor, now he's in the Senate. Have you seen those things happening?
Yeah.
How will they oversight a governor, yet they can have the same cases? You'll tell, but now we know your cases here, just keep quiet in the upper house. So this is an ecosystem that Kenyans actually should be able not to allow. For example, I'm not saying those who have been elected to senator after being governor is bad, but what is the implication? The implication is that they enter a club where I was a governor, I have cases. How can you unearth my cases? So for me, what I think is we need a lot of civil education so that we start by electing the right person.
Okay. Let me bring in here Wakili. Wakili, the assumption of innocence he's talking about, several governors who are able to still vie for these positions, much as they still have cases pending in court. That principle of assumption of innocence. But then now what happens with other sectors where they do not have this kind of oaths? You know, governors, okay, they have read it today, they have signed. So what about other oaths, other institutions?
All right, obviously, as a response to that, those are live pictures from Nyandarua County. Homer Badilisha and his deputy Joseph Madara have already been issued with the certificate, the inauguration certificates, and that makes them the substantive governor for Nyandarua County and his deputy. And of course, as you respond to that question, there is also concern that a third of members of parliament are either facing criminal charges or are convicts.
That's according to Interior CS material, remember?
Note your words. There's also a proliferation of wash.
Yes.
Actually, somebody wrote a comment on social media that the current parliament looks like a prison because these guys are charged of heinous crimes. Others have been convicted from fraud, rape, murder, and all those things you can talk of. And they're going to represent us. So he was wondering whether, are you sure they're representing us or representing themselves? So thank you for that question. Victor, you have mentioned or alluded to the fact that what happens to the other sectors where they do not take oath. I want to believe that even when you joined KBC as a state corporation, you must have signed some code of conduct. That code of conduct is what binds you at your level. So for governors, and there's the Leadership and Integrity Act, which has been in existence for the longest.
But they find a way to evade it in somehow. I mean, some way.
Yes, there is of course loopholes of people trying to evade it, but I don't think it's actually evading. It's just actually people overlooking, because to some extent you find that even the person who is supposed to be following you is also guilty of some other crimes. So they just look the other side. It has become a way of life for Kenyans. But with Mother Koome introducing this particular new oath, it's just to commit the governors that, you know, this is a high office you are holding. You need to commit that you're going to be responsible or stay true to the oath of office you've taken. And that is a very positive thing. When it comes to courts, it's going to be very easy now for courts to actually convict somebody on the basis of that oath they have signed. So as opposed to what we have been seeing previously, going by what the ethics and anti-corruption law.
Just hold it tight a bit. We have the Wiper leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, now speaking in Machakos during the swearing in of Wavinya Ndeti as next governor.
Kama magavana wa sehemu hii ya Lower Eastern, gavana rafiki yetu Lenku wa mlengo Azimio One Kenya vile vile anaendelea na shughuli kama hii, na kwa hivyo nitapitia pale, kisha baadaye nifike Makueni tumshangilie kijana Mutula Junior, na mwishowe Kitui ambako Governor Malombe amechaguliwa tena. Na kwa hivyo ndio nikasema nizungumze kabla ya Governor elect kutoa hotuba yake, acceptance speech. Naomba mavoko jameni, mtu pe dakika moja tu, sitakawia. Mimi taendelea because I can't get the communication. Thank you. Bemba. Mwenda Mutemba. Ataongea baadaye bwana. Mutemba umenipa shida.
That's Kalonzo Musyoka, obviously. The crowd was asking for somebody else to speak, but obviously because he has a tight schedule, as you've heard him say, he's asked to speak before the other leaders speak, including the governor for Machakos now, Wavinya Ndeti. He says he has to go to Kajiado for the swearing in of Joseph Olelenku, and then to Makueni for Mutula Kilonzo Jr. swearing in, and finally, and in his native Kitui County, where Julius Malombe will also be taking his oath of office as the next governor for Kitui County. I don't know how much time he has, because I mean, his ceremony has to be done by 2 p.m. How he's going to shuffle between these 3 counties between now and 2 p.m. is quite interesting. A 1 hour difference, obviously, but again, thinking that he will be issuing a speech in every place that he stands.
No, the remaining bit is just speeches and party and drinks.
Yeah, maybe he will address others later.
Exactly, yeah.
Kalonzo Musyoka in Machakos. I don't know whether we can get back and listen to him in Machakos County.
I called you the next governor of my
leader has decided to switch to his native camp address crowd that had of course the crowd there, but you've heard him, of course, say he had predicted that Wavinya Ndeti would be the next governor for Machakos County, and that's just 8. But of course, as you can see from your screen, live pictures from different parts of the country, and we are positioned strategically to give you a front row seat into the swearing in of these governors. Exclusive coverage you've never seen anywhere else, and you're not seeing on any other screen except on KBC Channel 1, because we mean business. And after all, Victor, Kenya is watching.
Absolutely. It's a choice. Since 6 a.m., it's going to, I think today is just going to be party after party across the 45 counties, I would imagine.
Yeah.
This is very important in the history of the country. It's constitutional, so all the governors will have to take oath of office. But now, the question I would love to, Wakili was responding to something. Wakili,
yes.
please, before I ask my question.
Yeah. Yes, so I was saying that across all the cadres of government, people get to sign some code of conduct depending, which is going to bind them in their work ethic in terms of what it is that they are expected to do. So that now was not the case with governors. They were just randomly under the law, which now has become very difficult to actually nail them on in terms of issues of leadership and integrity. So we have seen some success cases. So with some of the governors actually on the out of office, and then we also had some also fall do the same. So having this is an impetus, or adding to the particular judgment, so that we are going to have a couple of more other governors.
I think even the Samburu governor at some point, Moses Lenonkula.
Yes, it was also, the case is still ongoing, but it was not successfully ousted, but the case is ongoing. We are going to see rather a big number of, especially outgoing governors, or the ones who have finished their terms, have very difficult time, because some of their cases are still active. I think we had Oparanya, the case is still, not Oparanya, the one of Busia. The case is still active in court. And some other couple of other governors. And then now there is the aspect of the auditing of the reports takes some time. So some of them is until they have left office when you can actually properly audit them. So we're going to have a couple of them also answer to some of the charges. There's also another aspect of we are seeing some governors who wanted and others have actually succeeded to go to the Senate. Senate is the accountability house for governance. So I don't know where people who are saying will want to elect a governor into office to just go and cover himself at the point where he's supposed to actually be accounting. So that's going to be a challenge to actually audit them, because they will be the same people who will be going through the reports of what it is that they did. And there's no way you can be able to give a bad recommendation that you should be prosecuted. So that is, I think, a lacuna. We should have had the law whereby once you've served as governor, you can not actually change over and be a senator because of that particular situation where you're going to audit yourself. You're supposed to be accountable. Because that's going to be another problem. But luckily for some people, they managed to not elect those people, and I want to commend them. Because that's a plus. That's a plus. That's what we should be able to see more often. So I'm seeing a situation, Victor, where we're going to have a couple of other former governors now face the law, because now they will be without the influence, without everything. And these cases take quite some time. Maybe we could we had the BBI which was suggesting that the cases should be able to be handled within a very short time. Maybe in future we should be able to contemplate that, so that we can have people account within the shortest time possible. We have those who are going to prison to go, and those who are going to who are asked to refund the money. So there is some serious success in terms of getting resources which you cannot be able to account for. The government, there's a state agency which has been doing a very good job, whereby they have closed accounts and actually taken back monies which somebody is not able to account how he got them, and that is a success. So there are several good things happening, but in small bits. We are hoping that should be able to. We saw the former accounts officer in Nairobi who had several houses across the Kiamba, yes. All those houses have since been taken by the state. I think, was he given a sentence? I'm not sure. I think he was given a short sentence. A short sentence, but the resources have since come back. So that shows that actually there's some good work progressing. It was only that maybe we have not seen a governor being caught in that particular
As it goes
position.
over to you, Victor, very quickly. Of course, he alludes to Mandera and Western Gishu, the only counties that have given their governors the mandate to be their senators. Quite a conflict there. But also probably pose this question to Professor Ogola. How do we deal with governors who have now devised ways of hiding evidence by conveniently banning their finance offices, and then when investigations are done, we really never get, we just told it's an electric fault, and that was just it. But it bans conveniently documents that contain fraud.
I think what is happening in this country is serious, because these people know what they are doing. Anytime there's an investigation, you hear fire. Now, even, let's go on. I don't want to bring the issue of IBC. There are some places on fire now where IBC is related. I think now what needs to be done, maybe even to put somewhere that if you ban evidence, or at least you can be put culpable. They said they didn't ban them, the fire just emerged. But you see, where there is no evidence, I think this is where the legal minds have to help us. The threshold, when you accuse somebody of any crime, the threshold is too high that allows the thief to walk scot-free. And what I'm trying to say here is, if money was lost, you are given 7 billion, and you cannot account for it, why don't you be charged for lack of accountability rather than having evidence that actually you took the money and spent? If I give you 7 billion, you tell us what you spent it on, rather than trying to give me evidence that did you actually steal the money? You are given 7 billion. Where would the money go in a year? That's actually what we need to work. But just to add to your point, I wanted to put something very important. When you see this code of conduct being used...
From the picture you can see now, that is Muranga.
Yes.
At least it's a done deal for Irungu Kangata. It's now time to clap and, ease, cool down his feet.
Do you want to listen to that song?
Yeah, if possible, yes. Director, if you can listen to the song, he's clapping.
Let's listen in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Allah? I told you, it's celebrations all over the country right now, and I think we're missing a lot, Curia. We'll try and catch up with some party somewhere across the county.
If you need to invoke a code of conduct, there's something wrong. Just like if you need to tell your wife that, we signed a marriage certificate, you should know there's something wrong. My prayer is that we do not have to invoke those codes of conduct by saying you signed here, you signed there. But even to put it clearly, if we can have the county structured in a certain way that the governor is just the head, but not having the influence they do have in the county government, that may reduce these issues where we have like accounting officers. For example, if you talk about the structure of national government, the minister is more of the leader of the ministry, but their bodies, people who are individually responsible. We have so many things within national government. For example, Procurement Act and Disposal, Procurement and Disposal Act. That helps at least to streamline. We have so many agencies, for example, SCAC, that does the evaluation on how every public and national government works. How much do we have this in the county level? When you go to a county level, people can agree. These guys can collude and agree. Let's have documents, evidence to see this money moved and did this, and there's nothing. And who goes on to evaluate? In fact, more importantly, why even the one of Martha Koome is important, have you heard that the Supreme Court made CDF illegal?
Probably just look at that. That must be from Nyandarua, if I get it right. The change of number plates. You came as a civilian and now you are driving off in a government vehicle with a flag.
State vehicle.
Exactly. So perhaps just get that.
And you will remember, Victor, and probably you can also be guided by Ogola and Wakili, that vehicle that the governor now is about to board was actually perhaps the vehicle that was being used by the outgoing governor. Unless they have purchased a new one, that means today morning probably, the governor was told you are going to use private means moving forward. This vehicle we are taking to make your private arrangements. We are moving this vehicle to the inauguration square where it will be, carrying the new governor. And you've seen quite a change there.
This must be a government vehicle and a flag there. There's a county flag being mounted at the GK. It's quite interesting how this protocol change immediately, and how titles can also change within a blink of an eye. You drove in as
by
a civilian.
the way, just to give you some highlights, actually
Yes.
I was on this KBC the day we had a state funeral for President Kibaki. I was closer to some of these guys who sit in the inner circle for the president. Let me tell you what, when you hear that somebody has been named a minister in a government, and that you hold that ministry, your life changes forever. You become aware of things you never knew. Like, for example, those people never know the fuel prices. For 5 years, they'll never know. But you see, if you just leave that office, immediately you hear tires are wearing out, you're being told about the insurance, you are not aware. In fact, you may want to run back. In fact, for those who have moved from governor to senator, at least they are cushioned by some kind of those costs. It is a serious. Moi government, you could be chairing a meeting somewhere, for example, in Addis Ababa, and your ministry has been taken. Now, all protocols, how you will land back to the country is totally different from how you flew. And your life changes forever. Even your children ask you, Daddy, what is happening? If they are not mature kids, you'll actually be answering very serious questions. It is not something you want. That's why I don't want that very big bubble. Being a professor, I drive myself. I go to work myself. I know what I do when I want to do shopping. Some of these people, even if they get their wife shopping for them. I was talking to a head of military somewhere, I don't want to mention the country, when he differed with the president. He didn't know that when you are visiting your family in those very remote areas, your team goes to do shopping for your wife. They put them in the boot. For you are not aware of what was happening. You are being told, sir, enter here. You pass by an hotel, you ordered a meal. It is paid. You have no idea. The cars are fueled. The day you leave that office, you start paying every single bill. It's very painful. And this transition is not taken for granted. It's a serious transition in these people's lives.
And these are some of behind the scenes that perhaps people will not understand how it happens. It's part of the tradition. As you said, some of these leaders do not even know the real price of cooking oil. I mean, the basics. They don't know. I mean, but again, Wakili, it's an interesting bit there. But let me ask you something, Wakili. Most of these governors are coming into office, but the biggest issue is the issue of pending bills. It's spilling over from first government, people who served in the second, counties against second. Now we are in the third bit, and the issue of pending bills. It's something that has been talked over and over and over and over again.
I think this is, Victor, it's true. That's a big problem. That's a big problem, and as a country, I think we will need to find a way on how to solve some of these challenges, because this is holding the economy down. Because as long as business people are not being paid by government, then there is very little money which is left for doing business or for moving around in terms of money circulation. But then we cannot fully blame the county governments. Themselves have been on the receiving end, because government does not do disbursements as it's supposed to do. And this boils down to the government debt we have. The government is struggling to actually sustain even devolution. That is why sometimes you find it's not possible to, you find like county workers, I think a county official was telling me they have not been paid for the last 3 months. And that's a senior county official. So that becomes a big challenge, because when government does not disperse these monies, then they don't have money to pay the people who have worked or who have done work for the counties. So if a government can be able to, I think there's been discussion around that, whereby they said we are securing, I think they're talking about 500 billion.
Yes.
That's $500 billion, which is supposed to be paid to private contractors. Some of them, like Nairobi County, they have been discussing and saying we need to scrutinize these bills first before we pay. But of course, that's just a technique to try to tell you, we are not sure about what you supplied. We'll need to audit it. But
okay,
then
now, what is the immediate antidote? Because even the incoming government will still go through the same problem. Some will tell you know what, the books of accounts I have right now does not belong to my administration.
Exactly.
I inherited this from the previous one.
Look at that match. Look at that match. Quite an interesting one, yeah? Let's take a breather. But of course, the pictures you see there is the county askaris with the governor for Nyandarua County, Wahome Badilisha. But at this point, we take a breather.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako. Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
On how things are done at the National Assembly, from registration to verification to handing over and actually submitting your resume. There you have the pictures there from the National Assembly chambers. Perhaps that is now the beginning of the 13th Parliament, and 12 of them will still have to be nominated from different political parties to make that number complete. And from what we heard earlier on, Sarah Kyoko, who is the acting clerk of the National Assembly, perhaps has a lot of work to do to take through new members through the process at the National Assembly. Some of them are new members and they need this quite urgently. Perhaps you can just listen to what's coming from the National Assembly.
Right, the National Assembly, and of course when you mentioned 333 MPs, it is the 290 constituencies minus Rongai, Kacholiba, Pokot South, and one more constituency where elections didn't happen, and they are bound to happen on Monday. So you're looking at about 286 members of parliament coming in for induction, and then 47 county women representatives. The 12, of course, will be nominated later either for a gender top-up or representing marginalized communities. But those are live pictures from the National Assembly. This is Nakuru again. Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika in celebration there. And it's been a celebratory mode everywhere. And I think she's about to deliver, is this what you call a maiden speech? Yeah. It's our inaugural speech. Let's listen in.
Elect members of the County Assembly, elect County Commissioner, County Commander of Police, staff of the national and county governments, bishops and clergy present, all the members from the various embassies present, all the protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, let me take this time to thank God for the gift of life and the gift of victory that we consistently prayed for and that He has granted us as the County of Nakuru. And to all those who voted for me and those who did not, thanks for entrusting me with this position of leadership as the third governor of Nakuru and the first woman governor of this great county of Nakuru for the next 5 years. And I want to assure everyone that I will be a governor for all. I also take the time to thank my family, my husband, our children, nieces and nephews, our parents, brothers and sisters, and all our family members and friends. Also the clergy for your prayers, which have given me and my family the courage and the hope to run this tough campaign and to emerge victorious. Kweli ni maombi. I also want to thank my party, the United Democratic Alliance, the UDA, and our party leader, and the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, who is the President-elect, His Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President-elect, for giving me the chance to fly our flag in this great county. And with us here today is our Secretary, very esteemed Secretary General, Madam Veronica Maina, who will speak to us briefly at the end of when we are done here. So thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, from my interactions with Wananchi across the 55 wards, I came to see and listen to the challenges facing all of you. This formed a key component of my manifesto, which was shared to the public, and I wish to reiterate that I intend to do what I intend to do over the next 5 years. In my visits to the village, the mothers and the young girls had one cry: to have clean, accessible drinking water across the county. Mothers and girls have had to go to long distances to fetch water for their basic needs as well as for their livestock. The large industries and companies also raised their concern regarding inadequate water supplies to run their businesses. Under our Constitution, Schedule 4, water and sanitation is a devolved function. The water supply in Nakuru has not been able to meet the demands by the residents, and I intend to undertake the following to address this issue. 1, the completion in line with the Intergovernmental Act. I shall engage the national government to ensure we get a contractor to complete the Itare Dam, as well as enter into negotiations with Baringo County for supply of water from Chamasusu Dam. Itare Dam will provide water for Kuresoi North and South, Njoro, Molo, and Nakuru Town, East and West, while the water from Chamasusu Dam will supply Rongai and Subukia and Bahati. We shall also construct the Malewa Dam to supply water to residents of Naivasha and Gilgil sub-counties. Sanitation of all boreholes sank by...
That's Susan Wakarura Kihika, the governor for Nakuru County. Let's cross over to Kisii and listen in to Governor Simbarati.
Immediate lifting of the moratorium.
Songwae, the deputy governor-elect, Dr. Monda, the senator-elect, my brother, Honorable Richard Onyonka, the women rep, representative, the presiding judge, the Lady Justice Teresia Madeka, the county commissioner, honorable members of parliament, honorable members of the county assembly, the clergy led by his lordship, Joseph Mairura, other faith leaders, distinguished invited guests, and members of my family, friends and fellow great people of Kisii County. This afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very brief with the statement that I'm going to make today. Allow me to start. I stand here before you today with utmost humility and solemn gratitude as I take up the duty to serve as the second governor of Kisii. Ladies and gentlemen, on a momentous day like this one, it's often not possible to acknowledge everyone who has supported us in this channel. But allow me to single out the church for their prayers, for the spiritual guidance in the transformation of our county's affairs. We have managed to walk this journey as one united family. I thank you. I pay special tribute to my lovely wife, now our First Lady, for her steadfast love and guidance during my entire political career, and for being an amazing mother to my children. I also wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my campaign team, led by the campaign secretariat, agents, well-wishers, for their ideas, guidance, and conviction that they were carrying out this campaign. To my family, my mother is around. I saw her here, Mama Kayane. And my mama is here. Ukuja hapo uonekane dakika moja.
The governor for Kisii, Simbarati, introducing the family. And there's a comeback king in Wajir, Governor Abdullahi, now making a speech.
Complement our plans in providing basic help to alleviate suffering caused by the drought. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we shall hugely invest in the water sector by enabling our people access to this precious commodity. I am very much aware of the acute water shortage within the 4 miles radius of Wajir town and the anxiety this causes to the residents of our county's capital. My administration pledges to fast-track the implementation of the Wajir Town Water and Sewerage Project funded by the World Bank under the Wajir Water and Sewerage Company, WAJWASCO. Furthermore, we shall work towards repairing and expanding existing water sources and drilling additional wells to enable sufficient water access to the people, their livestock. My administration shall further avail fully operational technical support to allow uninterrupted water supply. Ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge the role played by our religious leaders in imparting the right knowledge of Islam as a means of countering radicalization. As such, we shall create a harmonious collaboration between all stakeholders to address the county's challenges with the help of our clerics, especially in peace building and conflict resolution, family affairs, and social issues. Furthermore, we shall provide critical funding to foster social support for the elderly and issue marriage support funds to the ready and willing but less privileged among us. To persons living with disabilities, this is your county too. We are here to serve you and create a disability-friendly county. In 2013 to 17, my then administration was the first and probably the only among the 47 counties to establish the Disability Fund for the severely disabled. We will operationalize this fund and increase its beneficiaries. We will protect your rights, provide the needed resources, and ensure that you also enjoy equal rights like everyone else. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my administration shall
interesting, and Governor Abdullahi. And you will remember, Victor, this is the first governor to improve healthcare in Wajir, in the sense that the first Syrian section under county government hospitals was done in Wajir, and under the reign of Governor Abdullahi. He's now making his second, or rather he's returning to the office of governor after being felled or toppled in 2017 in the general election then, and now he's back as governor of Wajir County. Of course, talking about the issue of provision of water and other services to the residents of Wajir County. And of course, we continue with this coverage of...
To the great people of Machakos County, thank you for bestowing upon me the transformation of Machakos County. I am inspired to work for you and with you towards a prosperous Machakos County. Today marks a great milestone in Machakos County as we witness this historic event. It is a special occasion as the executive power transits from one governor to another as determined solely by majority vote. Special thanks to the Deputy Governor, Honorable Francis Mwangaza, the Wiper Democratic Party family, members of my campaign team, including volunteers from all over the county who believed in our vision and worked with dedication to achieve this success. My family is here today. Charlie, Daniel, Alika, Rita, the entire Ndeti family, my mothers are here, and my family from Nigeria, my relatives of my late husband, Prince Henry Dolamu Joseph Oduole. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. I'm sure he's happy to see me here being your governor today. And most of you knew him. Also, my friends are here and well-wishers. I want to thank you all for your support over the years. I would not be here without you. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish from the onset to thank the outgoing governor, Dr. Alfred Mutua, and his administration for facilitating a seamless transition. I also appreciate my worthy competitors in the gubernatorial race. I would like to state that time for political competition is over. I call upon them all to unite with me by bringing forth and ideas that can help take Machakos to greater heights, or take Machakos forward. If you recall, we made numerous promises to you during the campaign. I will endeavor to work with all elected leaders.
All right. That is Wavinya Ndeti giving her acceptance speech there in Machakos County. From Machakos, we told you wall-to-wall coverage. Let's fly to Uasin Gishu, where Jonathan B. Elias Kotimoja is also giving his acceptance speech.
In the economic transformation, working closely with the national government and other elected leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, my government will be proactive in responding to the needs of the residents, and I will adopt a participatory or participative approach. We will provide equal opportunities to all and promote sustainable development, exercise transparency, and leverage the use of technology to make a government that is visible and responsive. As we begin a new chapter, my government, through policy intervention and strategies, will facilitate all sectors to establish institutional structures to attain economic development that promotes sustainable wealth creation through the Nguzo Kumi platform. We will align the economic policies in the manifesto with county strategy and county integrated development plan to make them achievable. As stated, my agenda for the people of Uasin Gishu, my government will focus on the following 10 pillars. The one you know very much is agriculture and food security, health, ICT and e-government, trade, industrialization, cooperatives, and enterprise development, education, youth, sports, culture, and tourism. 6, infrastructural development and public works. 7, water, environment, and natural resources. 8, land, housing, and physical planning. 9, public service management. And finally, Eldoret municipality. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture is the key driver of our country's economy, and to a large extent, the national economy, with our county being the breadbasket of the country. As part of our economic transformation, we need to reestablish agriculture through market research, subsidized farm inputs, mechanization, and value addition. The County Department of Agriculture will be equipped with adequate resources to provide extension services to farmers on modern farming to enhance their productivity. As an alternative, we will introduce high-value crops. They are already introduced, but will enhance and fast-track.
Jonathan B., the newly elected governor of Uasin Gishu there, giving what to say, his manifesto and what you should expect of him. Now, from Uasin Gishu to our neighboring county of Kiambu, Governor Kimani Wamatangi.
Kwa hii siku kubwa ya maana kwetu na ya kifahari. Lakini kabla sijasema mawili na kusoma hotuba yangu kama gavana wa Kiambu, naomba niweze kuwatambulisha viongozi wetu wengine ambao wamefika baada ya wale wengine kujulishwa. Our women rep, Madam Mwangaza, nafikiri alikuwa amepita kule kwenye bunge. Leo bunge ya National Assembly pia walikuwa na sherehe na utaratibu wa kuwajulisha na kuwafanya integration viongozi, na kwa vile kwa niaba yenu Karungo Wadhango waliongea, mengine nitamalizia. Tuko na mjumbe wetu kutoka Thika, Alice Wamboi Ng'ang'a, ambaye pia amefika wakati tumeendelea. Tunasema karibu sana mheshimiwa wetu. Tuko na kiongozi wetu aliyechaguliwa kule Gatundu South, anaitwa Gigi Kagombe. Huyo ndiye MP wetu mpya kule Gatundu South, ambaye pia amekuja kama ametoka kule National Assembly. Tunajua kama kiongozi kama Kagombe na wa Muradha vile wale ni mono kule kwa bunge lazima wangekuwa na hamu ya kwenda kwanza kuona ni nini huendelea kule, na kwa hivyo tumewaelewa. Na sisi hapa Kiambu tulikuwa tunaendelea na tunasema karibuni. Naomba nitasoma hii speech yangu ambaye nimeandika kwa lugha ya Kimombo, alafu tutasema mawili kwenye lugha yetu ya hapa na Kiswahili. It gives me great joy to stand here to mark and celebrate this day with you. It is a triumph that takes me back the memory lane of the remarkable journey I have traveled with the people of Kiambu. This journey started from my humble beginnings, walking barefoot to Kiviko Primary School near Wangige Market, to working as the people's servant as senator for 2 terms. Now, having earned the trust and the faith of the people of Kiambu to serve them as their 4th governor, my journey and exciting future offer both a thrilling and humbling experience, one only made possible by God and you. This is indeed not only a test of my skills and capabilities, but reminds me of the call to serve the great people of Kiambu. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long journey that has been full of hardships and hurdles that we have had to endure and overcome over the years. What an enormous honor.
Very good. We are still flying across the country to different counties. Of course, that is Kimani Wamatangi, the new governor of Kiambu. Now let's cross over straight to Meru County, where Mwangaza is literally lighting that county. All right. She's already turned to local dialect there, which is quite important to easily connect with her electorate. It's a good moment for most of the governors right now, trying to put their house in order and now stamp their authority as they take reins of their respective counties. Curia, a lot is happening now. We are seeing official governors now taking their, reading their official speeches.
Each one of them will have to, and then probably switch to the local language, because at the end of the day, if you want really to speak.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Usipitwe na vipindi uvipendavyo katika runinga ya Mwangaza. Unaweza kutufuata na kuzungumza nasi kupitia mitandao ya kijamii kama vile Facebook, like and share ukurasa wetu wa runinga ya Mwangaza. Tufuate pia kupitia Twitter @MwangazaTV, Instagram Mwangaza TV Kenya, YouTube kupitia Mwangaza TV Kenya. Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Our family in the hands of Gladys Atieno Wanga, who is the next governor for Homa Bay County. And that's just state. But probably, as we escalate this conversation, Prof. Ogola, in terms of shareable revenue, there's no denying that much of the problems that face counties is first, delayed of shareable revenue, and number two, even the amount of money going to counties is not enough comparing to what is being left to the national government.
Yeah, of course, you see, there's always that budget deficits are always everywhere. But the main question is, even the little they get, what do they do with it? Because now, if you invest money in where you don't get...
Hold that. Let's head back to Meru County now, listen to Governor Kawira Mwangaza.
Nitasimama na nyinyi. Ndeto bukaliria otonga mwenu. Ndeto bukaliria mbesa cielu.
Professor Ogola, finish up on your points. Kawira keeps switching between English and American.
Remember, that's the language that took her to that seat, so you have to use it. You must be very, very faithful. Because they may think you are departing away from how you came there on your inauguration day.
Yes.
So I was just trying to say that what we need to talk about is what we got. What did you do with it? Because if you start talking about the issue of shareable revenue, we know why government has challenges of putting money in the county. We know that the CDF, they were faithful. We have seen that that has actually had an impact. But the one for the county, we need to know what is the impact of that money before we start talking about the deficit that they didn't receive. And I was just trying to tell my brother here, Victor, is that all these governors, when they were running, they never faced the same question as the presidential candidate who was being asked not only what you want to develop, but being asked, how will you deal with the Kenyan debt? They never answered that question. For example, in Nairobi, I said that Sonko inherited 58 billion. Then now, Sakaja is inheriting 85 billion in terms of debt. Things which are outstanding. Now, are you going to get, when you get allocation, pay 85 billion out? Will you be elected? Because see, if you take the 57 billion and pay and all suppliers are happy, do you know, for us who voted in Nairobi, those who voted, me I voted in Ogenya, those who voted in Nairobi, they don't know about the 58 billion. They know you said water, Nairobi that works. So where do you start? Where do you start if you're in Nairobi to work? Is that question there? 100 days plan, they said it. Can a 100 days plan bring us into productivity? You owe water to the Nairobi Water Company. You owe the Nairobi Siwa Company. You know, the debts that are there are amazing. Do you start by paying your debt first? Or do you start by putting money on things that can help you pay debt? Or do you start by making people happy who voted you? The staff salaries, some of them have not been paid. By the way, I'm telling you, today is the only day these governors are happy. From tomorrow, you start facing reality. Because when
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Neno la uzima. Ni wakati wa kulishwa kiroho na kupata mafunzo ya kipekee kuhusiana na mambo yaliyotata.
Hakuna shida kuitwa, tumeitwa. Na kuokoka tumeokoka. Na sisi ni watakatifu. Na lugha tunaongea. Na sisi ni watakatifu. Lakini katikati yako kunaweza kuwa kuna miuku inaongea. Either you are pastor, either you are bishop, either you are reverend, either you are apostle. Usipoelewa hii miuku itakumaliza.
Ungana na Pastor Edward Mwai pamoja na watumishi wengine wa kanisa la Jesus Winner Ministry. Ni kwenye ibada ya neno la uzima, upate mahubiri na maombi yanayokupa mwangaza maishani. Ni kila siku ya Ijumaa kuanzia saa 3 asubuhi kwenye runinga ya Mwangaza, Kiheo TV na Mwangaza wa Neno FM. Neno la uzima na Pastor Edward Mwai. Zaburi 119 mstari wa 105. Neno lake ni taa ya miguu yangu na mwanga wa njia yangu. Amen.
everyone. My name is Amos Nyabayo, CEO and founder of Sinan Medical Center Limited. We are located in Loisambu, Lumumba Drive. Our organization started 5 years ago, and our services include general consultation. We also have ultrasound screening services. We have comprehensive and affordable laboratory tests. We also have family planning services. We do dental services. We also do late night consultations and treatments. Anybody who has an emergency any time of the day or the night, you're free to call us and to visit one of our branches for treatment. Your privacy is our first priority. Thank you and welcome all.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
And today it appeared like they wanted to undo what they did the other time and probably place their blessings on Kawera Mwangaza. So we had to know whether that event happened or it will happen after she's done with her speech.
All right. Is it, on a lighter note, they don't want two centers of power. They have to transfer power from one source to the next, because if you ask me, yes, we only have one governor right now, so you cannot bless. You have to transfer the blessings from one source to the next. But
and maybe it's a conversation we'll have one day.
Exactly.
Of course, with the risk of having some.
Regina is there.
What do elders have? What business do elders have in politics?
Panapo was there. Regina is there. Probably she can also tell us more what we should expect from that.
Mother Karua is here. In Homa Bay, the Azimio running mate candidate is in Homa Bay to support Gladys Wanga. Of course, it's a big deal for women, and Mother Karua as one of the trailblazers in terms of women leadership. You would understand she feels at home in Homa Bay and in the presence of Gladys Wanga as the governor for Homa Bay County. And I think this is the first time a lady is trying to be governor in Homa Bay and getting it well at it. Because I don't think there's been
an important scenario here. People have made a lot of comments about Martha Karua that she did not win so many votes for Mount Kenya, but that was not her reason of being running mate for Azimio. She was supposed to become a national leader. And if you look, she's got a lot of acceptance across all areas where Raila
she's got that
famous. And I think that the national appeal she gave to the coalition was much bigger and should not only be reduced to the number of votes that were in Gichugu or, for example, in Kirinyaga and the larger Mount Kenya. I can see Wakili is smiling, but to the much I know, I think this has been a gain for Azimio, because so many women who come from my own area and rural who said they'll never vote, when they saw Martha Karua ticket, they said, now we will vote.
Yeah,
and I think this is a good statement for her to go to Homa Bay to see. She could have gone to Kirinyaga or maybe somewhere in Muranga, but she's choosing to go to Homa Bay to give a booster. I'm sure also Gladys Wanga was also seen to be an iron woman, and you could see a lot of similarities between Gladys Wanga and this iron lady, Martha Karua.
And of course there's Lillian Gogo behind there, and then on this other end you have Bensouda.
Bensouda.
The new woman representative for Homa Bay.
The two gentlemen, Kenya is a young democracy, so to speak. We're still progressing from, years and years.
Are you sure we can't enjoy this song?
Sorry?
Hold on a minute. Are you sure we can?
There's a song.
Just when we want to enjoy the song.
Director, give us, come on.
Just when we want to enjoy then the song.
Okay, now the speech. All right.
We'll still have to ask your question
because Mano Gladys Wanga
Gladys is
not. All right, I just said. Okay, sometimes it's good to speak in mother tongue. The way Prof said that you speak to the hearts of the people, just to get it direct. But then, my question was, Kenya is a young democracy, and we are progressing every single year. We make mistakes, we learn from it. The Constitution was promulgated 10 years ago. A lot of efforts have been put in place to, fix some loose ends to make it work. We are not yet there. When you see this progress from now 3 women governors now, okay, director says that we have to cross over to Homa Bay and listen to Gladys.
Led by Honorable Peter Kaluma, who's the area MP, and all my colleagues, I do recognize you, our visiting members of parliament, our members of the county assembly, our political leadership, the clergy who are here in their numbers, Mama Dr. Phoebe Asio, our council of elders who are present here, my family, led by my husband, George Wanga, my family from Kochia, my family from Kano, who today represent my mother and father, my late parents, the Assumption of Office Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, the great people of Homa Bay County. Let me take this opportunity to first and foremost thank the Almighty God, He who makes the impossible possible, He who lifts the weak, He who lifts us from PDUB and takes us to a place to eat with the kings, for His favor. And let me thank the voters of our great county of Homa Bay for their clear decision that led to our resounding and historic victory in the just concluded elections on 9th of August. I want to salute our party leader, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, the father of devolution, and our party ODM for having faith in me and backing my bid to become the governor of Homa Bay. Allow me to thank, in absentia, Mama Dr. Ida Odinga, who's been my mentor over the years. Allow me to thank Her Excellency Martha Karua, who joined us in the course of our campaign, supported us, and has also taken her time to grace today's occasion of our swearing in as her commitment to the leadership of women. In a special way, let me thank the outgoing governor, His Excellency Honorable Cyprian Awiti, for being there with us for the last 10 years and midwifing the start of devolution in our county. Let's also recognize the role played by our political leadership, outstanding teams of professionals, the ground campaign teams, our media teams, our logistics teams from every corner of Homa Bay. I'm also grateful to the clergy, the Council of Elders, the various groups that partner with us, including the teacher leadership of Homa Bay and the teachers, our healthcare workers, our fisher folk and the BMUs, our water sector, business community, women leaders, youth leaders, among other actors who stood with us during this campaign. To members of the County Assembly, I would wish to congratulate you and reiterate that we will work together. The county government of Homa Bay is in two parts, the county executive and the county assembly. We will work together to
quite some sound problem there with Gladys Wanga. But of course, I hope I'm not the only person who was expecting a Jokanyanam Untie from Gladys Wanga. Let's head over to Isiolo. Governor Guyo is speaking.
Against all odds, peacefully went to voting, made a decision and elected me as your third governor. I thank you all for entrusting me with this responsibility, and my promise to you is this: I will serve you diligently, Isiolo people. My sincere gratitude also goes to my family, my beautiful wife, the First Lady, the entire family, my deputy, Dr. James Lowassa and his family, and our campaign team for sacrifices that they made to earn Isiolo people this week. To the outgoing governor, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Abdikuti, Isiolo people are proud of you as their long-serving political leader who always jealously guarded peaceful coexistence and harmony among community living in Isiolo as corner on which progress and prosperity will be realized. Also, as the first senator and the second governor who oversaw successful rollout of devolution in this county, we will certainly build on these gains made under your administration as we endeavor to deliver a lot more. In this regard, I also wish to acknowledge all development partners for the support and investment they continue to make in this county in making devolution work. My administration is ready to work with you as we believe we can achieve more together. We therefore invite you to a discussion on how you can complement our effort in improving the lives of Isiolo people. To our elected leaders, both at the national and county level, congratulations on your well-deserving win. As leaders, our roles may be distinct when it comes to legislation, representation, oversight, and execution, but we should always remember we've got a collective responsibility in ensuring we deliver the much needed service and development to our great people. It is therefore prudent if we undertake our different role without undermining the need to engage positively and progressively to steer our county to prosper while living to the expectation of the electorate. It is important to note our development agenda can only be realized and when our efforts are in sight, as we all working for the same employer, the great people of Isiolo County. To my worthy competitors, indeed everything has an end. It is not who won and who lost that is important. The most important vital win is when we all agree to come together as leaders of this great county. Put our political differences aside and instead shake hands, as this county and its people are much more important to us than the individual ambition we hold. In this regard, I'm happy to extend an olive branch to each one of you as a step toward healing and reconciling our people in realizing our shared interest to elevate Isiolo to greatness. To Isiolo County government workers, as I traversed the county during my campaigns, I interacted with many people and saw firsthand the challenges that our people experience in every other day. And I made promises to them before God and that I'm determined to fulfill. Therefore, as I set out to begin my work as their third governor, I will always be guided by the principle of good governance and desire to transform and impact the lives of Isiolo people. In this regard, my administration will not tolerate misappropriation of public resources, laxity, and laziness on the side of public servants. On this note, I wish to state this now. If you are a county worker and you are not at your station of duty, I advise you to immediately report to your duty and begin serving the people of Isiolo. It is not going to be business as usual. I made promises to the electorate and I must deliver on the same. My vision and promise to Isiolo people is well articulated in my manifesto, and we settle down to develop the third county integrated development plan. We will have it incorporated as a sure way to realize efficiency in conducting public affairs, particularly in development and execution of our policies, programs, and projects. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to acknowledge that no meaningful development can be realized where security of our people and their property is always in a state.
All right, Abdi Guyo elected on a Jubilee Party ticket in Isiolo, now to the only independent governor, Mwadime of Taita Taveta.
Tukifurahia ubuheri wa afya na amani hapa kwetu Taita Taveta na kwa Kenya nzima kwa ujumla. Shukrani pia ziende shirika la IEBC kwa kuendesha uchaguzi wa amani na pia kwa sisi mbalimbali kwa kudumisha usalama. Napenda vile vile kwa shukuru wote wale waliojiunga na timu wa kujaa kutoka kila kijiji cha jimbo letu, ambao kujitolea kwao kumetuwezesha kupata ushindi huu wa kihistoria. Siwezi kuisahau watunzi wote wa nyimbo tamtamu za ujumbe wa kunipigia kampeni ambazo zilipokelewa kwa moyo wote na wapiga kura wote wa Taita Taveta. Kame siwezi kusahau kwamba makampena wangu wengine walipitia dhuluma na uonevu mbalimbali, na hata wengine wao kuingizwa ndani ya vituo vya polisi kwa sababu ya kuamini, kupigania na kutetea sera za wakujaa. Niseme nini ila kuwaombea baraka za Mwenyezi Mungu na kuwatolea shukrani kutoka kwa moyo wangu kwa wananchi wote wa Taita Taveta mliojitokeza kwa wingi na kuchagua uongozi wangu wa amani, upendo na maendeleo. Nasema Asanteni, asanteni sana. Mwisho kabisa, napenda kushukuru mke wangu mpendwa na familia yangu kwa jumla kwa upendo na uvumilivu wakati wote, hasa wakati nilipokuwa nikiuguza majeraha ambayo niliyapata katika ajali ya barabarani, pamoja na wakati wote wa kampeni. Kwa wote hao niliowataja, nasema asanteni sana na Mungu wa mbinguni awabariki. Pili, ningependa kuwapongeza washindi wote walioshinda viti mbalimbali vilivyogombaniwa, pamoja na wale wengine ambao hawakujaliwa kupata ushindi wakati huu. Naamini ya kwamba kwa kuwa tumejaliwa kudumisha amani, basi sote na Taita Taveta kwa ujumla ni ushindi. Mabibi na mabwana, nachukua nafasi hii ya mapema kuhakikishia wananchi wote kwamba mimi wa kujaa nitakuwa gavana wa watu wote na nitatumikia wote bila upendeleo, hila wala chuki kwa mtu au kikundi chochote. Hata wale ambao walikuwa wakiegemea upande wa pinzani wangu, vile vile nitajitolea kushikana na kushirikiana na viongozi wengine wa kisiasa ambao wamechaguliwa katika nyadhifa mbalimbali za uongozi. Naamini ya kwamba tofauti zetu za kibinafsi si sababu ya kutuzuia kushirikiana kwa manufaa ya mwananchi wa Taita Taveta. Wananchi wenzangu, wakati wa siasa sasa umepita. Sasa ni wakati wa kujenga Taita Taveta yetu tunayoipenda. Kiapo hiki ambacho nimekila mbele yenu leo ninakichukulia kwa uzito mkubwa, na naahidi kutimiza ahadi zangu zote ambazo nimeahidi katika manifesto yangu, ambayo ni mkataba kati yangu na wananchi wa Taita Taveta. Naahidi vile vile kuchukulia kwa uzito tena mkubwa matakwa ya wananchi wangu, kama vile project na huduma watakazozipendekeza katika CIDP na vikao vingine vya wananchi. Wahenga walisema uongozi ni kuongozana. Wapendwa wananchi wa Taita Taveta, serikali ya kujaa ni serikali ya wananchi, na hiyo ndio sababu ya kunifanya niwe makini kwa malalamishi yote ambayo yatanifikia kuhusu huduma duni kutoka kwa maafisa wangu. Msichoke wala kuogopa kuleta malalamishi yenu. Mambo sasa yamebadilika. Kwangu mimi, wananchi mbele, maafisa wangu nyuma. Mabibi na mabwana, niruhusuni sasa nichukue nafasi hii kuongea na wafanyakazi wote wa kaunti ya Taita Taveta, na ujumbe wangu ni huu: mambo sasa yamebadilika, na narudia tena, mambo sasa yamebadilika. Uone wako kama unafikiria kwamba unaweza kujitajirisha kwa ufisadi katika serikali yangu. Hii ni tahadhari ambayo sitairudia tena. Watakaoshiriki ufisadi wataona cha mtema kuni. Pili, uzembe wa aina yoyote hauna nafasi katika serikali yangu. Aliye mzembe na aumie sasa, kama atataka tupumzishe au abadilike na aendelee na kazi. Mimi wa kujaa naelewa kazi wachache sana wasio na maadili na roho ya utendakazi. Wengi wao ni waadilifu na wapendao kazi zao. Kibinadamu, bidii yote lazima iwe na zawadi yake. Ni kwa sababu hii ndio naahidi wafanyikazi wote kwamba bidii yao nitaitambua na mishahara yao haitachelewa kwa kipindi chochote mtakachohudumu kama gavana wenu. Isitoshe, nitahakikisha kwamba pesa zote za kuendeleza mafunzo ya wafanyikazi zitatumika kwa sababu hiyo, na nafasi zote za training nitahakikisha zitapeanwa kwa njia ya haki na usawa. Wananchi watukufu, maendeleo yetu hapa Taita Taveta kwa muda mrefu yamesonga kwa mwendo wa kinyonga. Aibu hii sasa imefika kikomo. Kuanzia leo, zabuni zote za muundo msingi kama barabara na miradi ya maji zitatolewa kwa njia ya uwazi na usawa. Isitoshe, nitabuni kamati maalum ya kufuatilia kila hatua ya zabuni zote kuanzia mwanzo hadi mwisho. Naahidi kuharakisha malipo kwa kila zabuni itakayotekelezwa kwa njia ya kuridhisha. Na makontrakta wote ambao wana uzoefu wa kutenda kazi duni, onyo langu kwao ni hili: hatutalipia zabuni yoyote iliyofanyika kwa njia ya mkato. Mabibi na mabwana, kama vile nilivyoahidi katika manifesto yangu, uongozi wangu ni wa amani, upendo na maendeleo. Naahidi kuinua kiwango cha maisha cha kila mwananchi na kikundi katika kaunti hii. Nitatimiza ahadi zote kwa kuwa naelewa kuwa wapiga kura wa Taita Taveta hawawezi kuhadaiwa na hadithi za uongo, pesa au nyimbo tamtamu. Sina shaka ya kwamba Mungu akipenda, mimi wa kujaa nitakuwa gavana wa kwanza wa Taita Taveta kutumikia kwa miaka 10. Nimepanga mengi ya kufaidi vijana, wananchi wanaoishi na ulemavu, vikundi vya kina mama, wafanyabiashara, wakulima, wachimba madini, mafundi wa jua kali, wafanyikazi na vikundi vinginevyo. Yote hayo yako katika manifesto yangu, na manifesto yangu si ya kuwadaa wananchi. Mwisho kabisa, namalizia kwa kushukuru tena wananchi wote wa Taita Taveta kwa heshima kuu ya kunipa uongozi wa kaunti hii. Heshima hii isiyo na kifani ndio itakayo nishindikiza na niwatumikie kwa moyo wangu wote, ili sote tufaidike kutoka kwa uongozi wa amani, upendo na maendeleo. Taita Taveta ndio kaunti tajiri kwa rasilimali, lakini kwenye Kenya nzima naahidi kuiweka Taita Taveta kuwa kichwa na wala si mkia kwa kipindi chote cha ugavana wangu. Wananchi, kuna masuala ya pending bills, tutaangalia kwa undani, na vile vile ninatoa amri kwa kaunti ikiwezekana Jumanne wiki ijayo kuanzia saa 4 nikutane na all union workers wa hii Taita Taveta County. Nikisema union workers, nasema health workers, wale veterinary union, kuna hawa local workers, kuna civil servant, wale viongozi wa union. Tukutane saa 4 so that tujue mbele itakuwa namna gani. Professionals and diaspora.
All right, that's Governor Mwadime. And of course, I made a mistake there, of course, saying that he's the only independent candidate. It's a replication of 2017, two independent governors, this time Mwadime and Kawira Mwangaza. In 2017, there was Derito Mureithi of Laikipia, as well as Mohamed Kuti of Isiolo. And now, Wahome Badilisha, the governor Nyandarua.
Na mjue tutaanzia pale chini. Wakati nilikuwa natafuta kura niliwaambia hii serikali inaanza wapi? Pale chini tunaita namna gani? Bottom. Tunaita wapi? Bottom. Alafu tufanye namna gani? Hatutaki mtu yoyote abaki nje. Hata wakati tutaanza kupanga maneno kule vijijini, tutakuwa na wawakilishi katika serikali hii, wale ambao watatuambia yale mambo yanayofanyika kule. Miradi yetu ambayo tutaanzisha itasimamiwa na watu wa wale chini, kwa sababu hao ndio wanafanyiwa kazi ili watu wetu waweze kufanya hivyo. Nimeongea na our county assembly and I have a very good team here. Asanteni sana kwa kuchagua hawa MCAs. I've never seen wonderful MCAs kama wale wamechaguliwa hapa. Na tumekubaliana tutafanya kazi pamoja. Si ndio hiyo? Na vita tuache. Sina hiyo? So, now having said that, our ambassadors and high commissioners, our friendly, from our friendly countries, may I now take this opportunity on behalf of these people to express my gratitude and say that we are grateful and happy that you honored us. You honored our invitation. You've been very around here since very early in the morning. You came very early before 8, and that is to show how much you love our county. As we discussed in the morning, this is a county of dairy industry, and I know some of you are very good in that. We have potatoes. We have planted potatoes, 37,000 acres, and we can still do more with your support. We are also coming up very well in cut flowers. That is another area. You can also join us. We have a great lake here called Lake Orborosat. Lake Orborosat, we have discovered the other day that we can do fertilizer from there. We also have serious issues in animal feed. Those are some of the areas that we are looking upon to partner with you, plus many others that we will sit and discuss. Having said that, let me now introduce our ambassador from the Embassy of the Islamic Republic.
Right, Wahome Badilisha, the new governor for Nyandarua County in central Kenya. Of course, making a speech there as he assumes the reins of power in Nyandarua County. Unfortunately, we have to put a cap on this one and, of course, give way to the Swahili team of Ben Chumba and Zainab Said. But let me start with you, Wakili Gisore, to make your closing remarks.
Kyoria, what I would want to say is the fact that now we've seen new sheriffs come to office. We would want to expect that they will be able to discharge their duties with the utmost diligence. They should be able to reduce corruption. They should be able to deliver more, especially in areas which are within their mandate, like agriculture and health.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.